Alrighty, we are hopping right back into another video. We're going to look at some basic HTML tags. We'll look at heading tags, we'll look at paragraph tags, and we'll look at, bold is deprecated, but we'll look at the bold tag, and maybe I'll add some list tags as well. So we're going to look at some tags. And today's assignment, let's say we'll make a web page for a list of our favorite websites. Why not? Let's keep it on topic. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our web project. So if you don't have anything open, if you're just getting to class, let's go to our File Explorer. Let's go to our Documents. And you guys should have your website folder in your documents. I have mine. I have a lot of folders. So I'm going to go to my Webdev 2026 video tutorial series, and here's my website folder. Your website folder might be in your documents. My first website. Right now we only have this one page. We want to start editing this page today. I'm going to open up two windows. I'm going to click on it normally to open up a Google Chrome window so I can see what I'm working on. And I'm going to right click it and open with Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. And I'm going to do one more thing to help myself is I'm going to drag this Chrome window to the left side of my screen, and I'm going to drag this Hello World to the right side of my screen. I don't want that. I want my Chrome window. There we go. Okay, so I have Hello World, and I have this is my coding editor. This is my Visual Studios, the black thing on the right, and this is my actual website. So whatever I type in my code, let's say I'm writing code here, I save that, and then if I refresh my website, that will be on my website. Again, any code I write over here, I am writing some code. If I save that, and then I hit refresh, I am writing some code. It happens here. Okay, cool. So we could start building our website. What did I say? This is going to be a list of our favorite websites. So we'll go into how to structure an HTML thing in the future, but this is a structural component. We're going to add a body tag. HTML code is comprised of lots of different tags. This body tag just means that everything between these two will be what's written on my website. So the actual content of my website, things I'll see. We'll get into what this is for later. We'll talk about it more. For now, we're just going to include everything is going to be in between two body tags. Did I spell this correctly? I think I might have spelled that incorrectly. Is there an E in body or no? No, there's no E in body. Why did I put an E in body? Okay, this is our body tag. While I have it open, I'm doing the video. We might as well. Definition usage. The body tag defines a document's body. The body element contains all the elements of an HTML document, such as headings, paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, tables, lists, etc. That's mentioning a lot of things we're trying today. This website is great. It's called W3 Schools. If you're ever not sure about what a tag does or how it works, go to W3 Schools. It'll have an example. While we're here, we might as well do this correctly. Every single HTML document, so that it knows what language we're in, should say HTML at the top. And whenever we open a tag, we're usually, not always, 90% of the time, we're going to add a closing tag. And everything in between those tags is considered inside of the tag. A closing tag has a backslash to say end of HTML. So this tag means I'm starting to write an HTML document. This tag means I'm starting to write what's inside of my HTML document. Anything in here is going to be the tags that show up visually on this web page. And then this tag here, closing HTML, means I'm done writing in HTML. After closing HTML, maybe I have... There's not going to be much we get to in this class. That's going to be outside of the HTML tags. Don't worry about it. Okay, we might have like style sheets or something, but that's probably going to be in a different document and then linked in with a script tag, so don't worry about it. There's another tag that we'll use later that I might as well show us now called a head tag. Head. And this is going to be empty for a little while, but this is where we're going to put things like metadata, things that you don't really see. We don't know where metadata is. We're getting a lot of extra stuff right now. Don't worry about any of that. In fact, let's simplify. We don't need head. We'll start with an HTML tag, and everything we do is going to be inside the body tag. Now, inside of this body tag, let's start working. So I want to create a list of my favorite websites. It's giving me some stuff. There's an AI that's recommending me to write some stuff. That's what that gray is. I can hit tab to accept those recommendations. And then I can save and refresh, and I can see those recommendations on my page live. And it's using two of the main tags that we use in HTML. So we'll look at those right now. So there are heading tags. I'll do an H1, and I'll say, test. And I'm just going to copy this H1 test, and I'm going to make a few of these. And notice the tag starts. So this, anything in between the opening and closing tag, that's going to be an H1. This will be an H2. This will be an H3. And this will be an H4. And this goes all the way down to 6. So let's keep trying it and see what happens. 4, 5, 6, and we'll do an experiment. Why not? We'll put an H7, even though I don't believe that exists. And now we're going to have a bunch of tests, and let's see what happens. We have test, 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 and each of our heading tags is smaller than the last one. H7 doesn't work. I think H7 is probably going to look the same as maybe a P tag, a paragraph tag, which is the default tag. Yeah, it looks the same as a paragraph tag. It's kind of unstyled. The H7 style doesn't exist. We could define an H7. We could create an H7 later. Right now, there's no default. There's no H7 tag. That doesn't exist. So we're going to get rid of H7. Now, what am I going to do with all these headings? Well, maybe the first heading, H1, maybe this will be the name of the website. So maybe I'll name my website my favorite things list. And then maybe after my H1, I'll have a couple of lists. I'll use H2 for each of my lists. And so H2, this will be the name of the list. So this will be my favorite, my favorite websites to my favorite websites. That'll be my first list, and I'm gonna add a second list. I'm gonna add another H2 tag, and I'll make another list for my favorite, foods, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Actually, I'm gonna do video games. My favorite video games. I was just talking about that with my kid yesterday, so I should have it pretty down pat. Okay, let's refresh and see how this is looking. Okay, so right now I just have a bunch of text. It's like my favorite things, okay. We need to start adding the list. So let's start adding some lists. Well, before we add the list, at the top of the page, after my favorite things list, I'm gonna put a P tag, and I'm just gonna say what this website's about. This website is designed to share my favorite things in the world while showing off my website development skills. And I'm going to Control S, and I'll refresh, and now that paragraph is on my website. Now we'll add some lists. We'll do my favorite websites list. And by the way, yours is going to look a lot less zoomed in. I had zoomed in a lot. This is what the website actually looks like, but I'm going to zoom in a lot just to make it clearer on the screen. Okay, now we'll start making lists. So before, we did these paragraph tags and heading tags where each object just has, the tag, and then there's just some text in between the tag. It's pretty simple. The lists are going to work more like the body tag, where the list tags are going to contain other tags. We'll see that right now. So inside of my favorite websites, we'll create a list tag, which is, I forget exactly the text for list tag. It's something simple. I know LI is list item, but let's look at W3 Schools and let's search up list tag, because I don't really remember. HTML lists. Oh, there's unordered lists and there's order lists. So I'll do my favorite websites This will be an unordered list. I'll do a UL, and it automatically indents and automatically puts this in for me. And then I'm going to have this unordered list will be a list of, if I look, the unordered list doesn't do anything on its own. If I press refresh, there's nothing different. I need to put on this unordered list, this UL, I'm going to include LI tags. These are called list items. My favorite websites, let's see, I really like YouTube is a really great place to learn. That's what the website you guys are probably on right now. I really like LI, let's do Wikipedia. Let's do LI. Oh, it's another great website. I really, really, really like. I like neopets.com. Neopets.com. That's a classic little silly game. Google's a great website. Amazon's a great website. I really like list item. ChatGPT is one of my favorite websites right now. It's so great. I like list item. I really like Claude is a really great website. I think that's a great list of my favorite websites. Now I'm going to hit refresh on this page. I saved this. I have an unordered list with list items. When I refresh this page, my list appears on my web page, which will soon be a website. My list appears on my web page. That's beautiful. Now we'll do an ordered list for video games. My favorite video games. This section, after my heading, I'll put another list onto my website. I'll do an ordered list. I'll do OL, ordered list. And you might notice some of the indentation. This is just for style. Visual Studios will do that automatically. I'm just pressing the Enter key, and then I'm going to start writing my list item. So LI, ordered list. My favorite video game of all time is Elden Ring. Elden Ring takes it. Elden Ring is my favorite game of all time. And then I'm going to go to my next line, and I'm going to do a list item. Breath of the Wild is great AI. The AI is recommending Breath of the Wild, but I'm going to put Minecraft. Minecraft is a absolutely goated game. List item, let's see, what else do I really like? Top games of all time. I have to give it to Overwatch. I used to be a pro Overwatch player, so we're going to have to count that. Overwatch. I used to do way too much World of Warcraft. I'll put it on the list. World of Warcraft. We'll have to include... I'll put Red Dead Redemption. What other games are great for my list? I really do like Breath of the Wild. It keeps recommending it. I like Mario Odyssey. List item. Well, let's put Roblox up here, first of all, before we get too crazy. I really like list item. I do really like Legend of Zelda. But let's do Majora's Mask. Which one was no? Let's do Twilight Princess. Let's do Twilight Princess. Let's do Legend. It's not my favorite of all time though. It's got to be on the top 10 list at least. I'm not putting it. I don't really like Legend of Zelda that crazy. Should I keep thinking? Oh, Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate. That was a great game. We'll put. What's the game? We'll put Dead by Daylight. We really like that game. Let's do Call of Duty. I'll take it. We'll put Call of Duty on the list. Listen, it's a little generic. It fell off, but we're including like Modern Warfare. We're not putting Fortnite on the list. No. No, sir. Don't like Fortnite. Let's see. I'm gonna get a couple other ones. Let's throw Pokemon onto this list. I've played like every Pokemon game. My favorite video game franchises. We're changing it. Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Roblox, Red Dead Redemption. We're just gonna put Smash. Ultimate's a single game. Call of Duty as a franchise. We'll put GTA as a whole franchise. GTA can definitely make the list. GTA. We like Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is a phenomenal game. We'll put Fallout. We'll give Bethesda some. You know, I'm putting Skyrim over Fallout. We'll put Skyrim. And I think that is going to be my list for today. I think we're done. This is a 15-minute video. In this video, we talk about how we add tags to our HTML web pages. We talk about how every HTML web page code is going to start with an HTML tag. All the other tags are going to be contained inside of that HTML tag. The parts of the website, the tags that show up visually that we see, are going to be in the body tag. That's going to be most of the tags, but sometimes we include some things in something called the head that we're not going to see. We'll throw the head in on the next lesson. We'll throw in a head on this website. So there's a head tag. We don't see that yet, but we'll start looking at that. Anything we write that shows up on the website should be inside of a body tag, or else we're going to have some style errors later when we start doing styling. We have H1 tags. These are header tags that allow us to change the size and font of the thing. These are just called headers, really. We could change what a header looks like, what it means to be a header. We could change the style of that later. For now, it's just going to be bigger. The smaller the number is, so header 1 is the biggest one, and then it goes down all the way to header 6, and header 6 is the smallest header. Header 6 is even smaller than the default paragraphs. We have the default paragraph. This is the most common tag used in HTML. Everything should be inside of a tag. If you have any text that's not in a tag, like if I just wrote up at the top of my body, hi, it'll work. It'll put hi on my page, but it's going to cause, oh, it didn't even work. Great, that's perfect. That's actually better. Oh no, it does work. See, hi, there it is. So it's working. So, but this is terrible for your styling. This is terrible for your website. This will cause errors later. Do not do this. Never put anything outside of a tag. So all of my text is inside of tags. We also looked at unordered and ordered lists. Your assignment is to take a screenshot, use your snipping tool, and let's grab a screenshot of your website, and let's include an ordered and unordered list in the screenshot. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I will take a screenshot, and this will also help to get to know you, so I can get to know you better by learning about your favorite stuff. So your screenshot should include an ordered list and an unordered list. My ordered list is not exactly ordered. Call of Duty should be a little lower, Pokemon should be a little lower, Skyrim should be a little higher, Red Dead Redemption should definitely be lower, you know, but this is close. So this is my ordered list. You can save the screenshot as, you know, whatever you want to save it as. Maybe save it to download so you don't lose it, and we can say like day 2 work, maybe Webdev day 2 work, Webdev day 2 work. We could save that screenshot, and we could submit that to our second assignment. If you guys are missing one of these two lists, you're going to lose a little bit of points. If I have any issues with it, you know, you might lose some points. But if you get your lists in, that is beautiful for today. Thank you guys. That was a 18-minute video, a little longer than I prefer.